Am I on? Okay, I think I'm on. All right. So this live stream might not be too long. I wanted to get on here and talk about this topic about not being in a rush to do things. So this past week, I was talking to well, the guy that I usually talk to all the time at my job, the one I was talking about in my last live stream, who's legally blind. Um, we got into another conversation, and he was comparing me to this woman who's around the same age as me, and um, he was just saying how older she looks for her age. And I don't like when people compare me to like anyone else or whatever, whether it's good or bad. Like, I don't like it. But I can't help when people do that. Like, you can't help what people do. So, I wasn't like too thrown off of what he was saying, but I did felt bad about what he was saying. And even though what he was saying was on her part negative, he did have some truth to it. And I know if he sees this video, he's going to laugh because he was right in this scenario. And it's because a lot of, like, right now I'm 29 years old, and a lot of women around my age, they don't look they look older than what they're supposed to usually look. And it's because a lot of them rushed. And I'm not trying to talk down towards other women, but I feel like whoever is going to see this video, if you're someone who is younger than myself or older, whatever, you might find this information useful. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video. And this is something that a lot of people don't really talk about, or like don't really care for, or they just like roll their eyes towards. So this is not a conversation to have with anybody, but I'm doing this live stream for those who find this information like valuable or whatever. Just a little conversation. So I feel like people, not just women, men do it too. They they rush. They get into things too fast. And it's like when you're young, you feel like time is on your side, and you feel like, I don't know, 30s and 40s and 50s is not like around the corner. So you tend to do things just like recklessly. So the people that I know, that I grew up with, a lot of them, they partied a lot, which there's nothing wrong with partying, but they just did it way too much, and they still do it to this day. They drink a lot. I mean, it's okay to drink occasionally, but they overdid it. And a lot of them do drugs, which is that's never good to do anyway. So a lot of them do drugs. Instead of saving their money, they like traveled way too early. I mean, I know like once you're like 18, 19, 20, 21, you want to get out there and do things and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like you'll have plenty of time to travel. So none of them saved. And a lot of them, well, no, not a lot of them, but I'm gonna bring that up a little bit later on. So I feel like they rushed. They rushed. A lot of them got tattoos way early on. Like, I just recently got my first tattoo. And I mean, unless you have the money to keep it up, and by the time you reach my age, some of their tattoos look way too old. And especially if you're getting a tattoo when you're young, like you don't know what you really want. You haven't figured yourself out just yet. So you might get a tattoo that you may regret by the time you're like 24, 25. So I've been around a lot of people like that. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of them rushed, and it's very unfortunate because nowadays they look dried up and just tired. And it is unfortunate. And this guy that I was talking to, that I've been talking to at my job, he was saying, because he's older, and he was like how I should be lucky that I still look the way I look. I don't really do too much, like as far as aesthetics and maintenance or whatever, but because I don't wear makeup or anything. Like I may wear like lip gloss or lipstick, but that's about it, and like pluck my eyebrows, but I don't do too much. And I eat right, drink a lot of water. I may indulge in like some like desserts or whatever, but I don't do anything too crazy. So he was like, yeah, you should be lucky that you look the way you look and not look like so and so. And I'm like, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. But he does have some truth in that. And a lot of people don't want to hear it because usually they're the ones that rushed. And now it's like all you have left is excuses to make. And or get plastic surgery or something to try to look younger, which it really doesn't. You end up looking even more crazy than how you started. So there's that. But on the flip side, because my advice would be to take your time with things, but you don't want to be too slow with it. Like you don't do anything at all to the point where you're just boring. Like you have people who rush into things, and then you have people who just don't do anything, and they just end up being way too safe. And that's not good because you do want to take risks. So you want to take risks, but you don't want to be reckless. You want to have fun, but you don't want to be stupid. Like there's always a balance to things. And I see that it's hard for people to find a good balance or something that works for them. Um, I feel like I found a pretty good balance with my life. So that's the only reason why I'm getting on here sharing my tips because, or just advice in general, because I feel like I kind of got it down to a science. So whatever method that works for me. Um, so but at one point I think I was becoming too safe. Like for example, when I was younger, I used to I used to be the one to get on roller coasters, and my sister wasn't. She was scared. Nowadays, she's the type to get on all the roller coasters, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna just stay here. Like, I guess I just became too conscious. Therefore, I don't take major risks. But then again, I do things that some people find crazy, like doing those obstacle courses, and you're like 50 feet in the air, and you're like walking on like very thin ropes and stuff, and zip lining. Like I do stuff like that, and like scuba diving and whatnot, which other people find too reckless, but I actually like it. And say like I'm in the Caribbean somewhere on the beach. Like I'm the type to swim out, which is not the like greatest thing to do, especially like if you get sucked under and stuff like that. So I have to learn to like not go so far out into the water, but for some reason like me in the water is just I get so hypnotized. Um my mom, who she was back and forth from New York and Bermuda growing up because she used to live in Bermuda, and still lives out here in New York, and she used to tell me all the time to be careful when you're on the beaches because the water and the tides and all that stuff. So when it comes to stuff like that, people find that like very risky. And I just, for some reason, I don't. But I'm still more safer than, I still play it safe than a lot of folks. So you got to find a balance. And another thing too that people rush into, which some, not everybody's going to agree with this because this is very promoted a lot, and that is as soon as you get out of high school, go straight into college. And I feel like you shouldn't rush to do that just yet. Like you should figure out what you really want to do first before getting into college and experience um life just a little bit before getting into college, like learn people skills and see how the game really works, because there's a lot of people that I know that have went to college, and now not only are they not in the field that they went to college for, they're paying back a lot of money for something that they actually end up not even pursuing. So you shouldn't rush to you shouldn't rush so soon to get into college. But that's not a popular opinion. People feel like you should. But I don't know. I feel like as a like growing up, you're a kid, then you're a teen, and then bam. And it just happens so fast. And your brain is not fully developed and you don't really know who you are just yet. I mean, some people have that. They figure themselves out like very early, but you have people who don't. So it's like, I don't know, it's just my opinion. Don't rush too soon to get into college. Just wait it out a little bit until you figure out what you really want to do. Because some things you really don't need college for. I know somebody right now who graduated not too long ago, and she has to pay, I think she owes like 30,000 left to pay back in a field that she's not even in. So I mean, it's a catch 22 to everything. So there's that. So you definitely don't want to rush, but you don't want to be too, you don't want to think too much about making a move, because then, time just passes by. I mean, you're not taking any risk at all. And it's just like you're still at the front of the pathway, or the start of the race, and you haven't even gone anywhere. So you don't want to be too safe, because that's just, you end up just going nowhere. So that is my advice. I don't know if I got any other tips besides figuring yourself out. Take your time with things. Don't follow trends. A lot of women right now, again, the BBLs, and they're getting their face all like fixed and whatnot. Well, I can't even say fixed. Like they're doing all crazy things to themselves. And it started off like, at first, it was just celebrities doing it. But now I see girls, women at my job walking around with that. And it don't look right. It really don't. It really don't. And it's only a matter of time before something like bad happens. But I don't know. I feel like what I'm saying is gonna go through one ear, not the other, to some people. And that's the reason why I don't really guess. I've been wanting to make a video like this, but I feel like I might come off too judgmental. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to give some good ass advice or, whatever. But I think that might be it. So don't follow trends, figure yourself out. Don't be in a rush to go into college. um, take risks. Don't be reckless. Have fun. Don't be stupid. Um, what else? Of course, eat right, stuff like that. Yada yada yada. All the good shit that people tend to ignore. What else? I feel like I have don't fall into the pressure. So right now, I don't have any kids, but I do want kids. And I have been telling everybody for the longest, like I'm waiting for my 30s to start having kids. And my sister is like, every day, I pray that you get pregnant. She's like, I pray that you get pregnant because I want some nieces and nephews. And I'm just like, ah. And then everybody else is just like, I'm praying for you to have kids. I'm like, not yet. So sometimes it's like the pressure, but you know, you gotta have a backbone when it comes to these type of things. Like, no, I'm gonna wait for my 30s. And I've been doing a pretty damn good job at it too. Like my 30s is right around the corner. So they can stay mad tight or whatever, all they want. I ain't having a kids just yet. So definitely don't fall into the pressure. And yeah, I think that's it. I knew this wasn't gonna be too long of a video. Um yeah, I think yeah. Watch me get off this live stream and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I meant to say this, I meant to say that. Because sometimes that happens. Since I've been starting this live stream, I get off and I'm like, I forgot to mention this or I forgot to mention that, but whatever. Yeah, I think no, yeah, that is really it. That is really it. So, okay, that is my advice. Time is very valuable and find your balance, figure out yourself and don't fall for the pressure. And yeah, and I mean, it's never too late, especially if you already have done the things that you've done. I mean, at least you could say that you've been there and done that. So you can always change. It doesn't matter. But if you are someone who's younger and hasn't haven't done anything yet, like really think about what I said because you don't want to reach your 30s or whatever and you're already tired, like mad tired and just looking all drowsy. It's mm. But anyway, all right. Let me get out of here. One day I'm not even gonna say that because I was just about to say, watch me one day fall off this chair during a live stream. I would be, I would be so upset, but it would be funny. Sorry, friend, had to decline your call right now. Okay.